and welcome to the Complete Hire Equipment WRFL Week 1 Finals Preview Time, Peppy. It's a great time of year. Andrew Wilson's here, Peppy Cavalier's there. How are you, Pep?
Hello.
Let's get straight into finals action. We start with Rams Division 1. These games to be played out at Avalon Airport Oval. We have the qualifying final on Saturday with Spotswood taking on Deer Park. They've split the season series 1-1. Who's going to win? Oh, yeah, and tune into this game from 1:30 on 88.9 Win FM, our match of the day.
Yeah, it's a tough one to pick, Will. I'm just siding with Spotty. I think over the course of the season as a whole, they've been better than Deer Park. The Lions have been very good the past few weeks, especially beating some really good teams in some really good form and really tough to tip against them going into finals. Jace Perkins is back, so that's going to be big for them. Let's see if they can get that forward dynamic going. All these games that they've played against Spotswood have been pretty low scoring. The Woodsmen won the first by 17 points and Deer Park got the second game by 8. There's just a feeling around, I think, that the Woodsmen maybe let a few opportunities slip, certainly in the second game as well at home in tough conditions. I just think if they can tidy up a few areas, I just think they're a very, very consistent team. And I reckon they deserve a spot in a prelim.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm going to go with the Woodsmen. I think it'll be a close one. I'm really looking forward to this game on Saturday. And then on Sunday in Division 1, Hoppers Crossing take on Werribee Districts. Hoppers Crossing won both encounters this year. Can Werribee Districts turn the tables on them in a big elimination final?
It's a really tough game to pick, Willow. Obviously, these fierce rivals playing, and they love to play each other they hate to play each other, or who knows, but it's always a quality game of football. 21 points the win earlier in the year to Hoppers Crossing. They kicked the last 8 goals. They kicked 8 goals straight in the last quarter to win that one, and then they smashed them in cyclonic conditions at home. The final margin was only 26 points, but junk time goals to the Tigers made the margin more respectable than it was. I suppose over the course of the year, there's been a perception from us, certainly, that Werribee's been the stronger team. They finished on the same wins as Hoppers, not that far ahead of them on the ladder, obviously, 4th versus 5th, when it was all said and done after last week's finish to the home and away season. But the Warriors had the formula to beat them, and I'm not willing to go against that, so I think the Warriors will win again.
I'm going to go with Werribee Districts to knock Hoppers Crossing out of the final. So that was Rams Division 1. Now Division 2, these finals to be played at J.R. Parsons Reserve in Albion. We start on Saturday with the qualifying final between the two top teams, Wyndham Vale and Yarraville Seddon.
Yeah, they played 3 times throughout the year. We speak at length in Division 2 about the two teams, and it's been the case over the past few years. There's been 2 standout teams. This year's a little bit closer. Point Cook Centrals and Parkside have been very, very competitive, but certainly the Falcons and the Eagles, the 2 better teams in the comp. 2-1. The head-to-head record, the Falcons' way. And certainly the one that we read the most into was the most recent one, which was played at Yarraville Oval, Willow, a 7-point win to Wyndham Vale. I think they'll win again on neutral territory, a small little ground down there at J.R. Parsons Reserve, potentially a little boggy as well. Probably doesn't have as good a drainage as some other grounds around the Western Region Footy League. So depending on what the weather turns up, I just think they might be a little bit tougher inside in the contest, Wyndham Vale. So I just think they'll be the first team to book their spot in the grand final in Division 2. Yeah,
I'm going to go with the Falcons as well. And on Sunday, the elimination finals, Point Cook Centrals taking on Parkside.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good game. It's going to be a tough one to pick, obviously. 1 win each, 20 points to Point Cook Centrals earlier in the season, 29 points to Parkside in the second encounter. Again, I feel like the ground might suit Parkside. It's probably going to be a contested game, and the finals, we know Point Cook Centrals were very good last year in winning a premiership, obviously, and grand final, it was in the wet at Werribee, so they can handle the tough conditions just fine. I just think maybe Parkside might be a little bit fresh. They rested quite a few players last week, evidenced by their pretty hefty loss to Wyndham Vale, certainly not reflective of the gap between those two teams. But if some of those star players, Brent Kelly obviously wasn't there, Chris Muratore, a bit of a niggling injury and a bit of age against him, as he mentioned pre-match last week, he'll come back in, he'll be an important inclusion. I'm just leaning the way of the Parkers, but I think it's a 50-50 call.
I'm going to go with the Sharks. I think their running style might be too much of a handful for Parkside. We've moved to Division 3. These games to be played at Pennell Reserve in Braybrook in the qualifying final on Saturday, with the winner going straight through to the grand final is Auburn Vale versus Sunshine Heights.
Yeah, well, we probably didn't think this would be the first final in Division 3. Obviously, Glen Orden were looking like they would certainly be the team to play Auburn Vale, but Sunshine Heights, to their credit, only just in the end. They just hung on against Braybrook, which was a little unexpected, but they got there last week in round 18. I think a 7-point win, having led by quite a margin at three-quarter time. So I'm still leaning towards Auburn Vale. I just think the bulk of the season, the experience that they have from Division 2 might carry them over the line. It's a pretty big ground at Braybrook as well, so that might help them slightly in the end. We know Sunshine Heights have adapted to greater playing surfaces this year, but certainly very good on a small deck at home at Glengala Road. So I'm just leaning towards the Cobras. They're going to have to turn around their last result. Obviously, they went down by 9 points, Willow, but they did beat Sunshine Heights by 71 points and 81 points, respectively, earlier in the season. So, again, it's probably a toss of the coin, but I'm on the Cobras.
Yeah, I'm on the Cobras as well to advance to the grand final. And on Sunday, the elimination finals, Glen Orden versus Tarneet. We probably expected Glen Orden midway through the season to be playing off in a qualifying final, but they haven't played some really good football in the past few weeks, but definitely it's going to be a tough game for them against Tarneet this Sunday.
Yeah, they had an important win, the Hawks, to get some confidence, obviously, against North Sunshine. They won comfortably, as we expected. Tarneet had a good win as well against Wyndham Suns, because they are one of the teams that were playing some of the better football in the second half of the season, and probably would have been really in the race for the finals had they not made such a slow start to the year. I just think Glen Orden have had too good a year overall to bow out first week. Very similar, these two teams, the way that their season has panned out, the way the storyline has developed. 8 wins in a row to Glen Orden to start the year, 7 wins in a row to start the year for Tarneet. Since then, neither have really been that good, to be fair. They've been okay. They've done enough to make the finals. I just think the Hawks probably just have a little bit more talent across the ground, and certainly if some of their better players have come back in the last few weeks, they should have enough to get the job done. But it is finals, we're not sure.
I'm going to go Glen Orden to win that one. Too. All right, so that has been the complete Hire Equipment Week 1 Finals WRFL preview. Good luck to your team this weekend.